I am the Watcher, chronicler of history. For countless eons it has been my task to observe the shining blue orb men call the Earth, to chronicle the grand ascension of the human race, the splendor of its achievements and the glory of its heroes. My job is done. It was an age unlike any other, and this is the story of its end. Just hours ago, at the hands of the creature known only as Onslaught, born of an unholy alchemy spawned when Professor Charles Xavier, leader of the X-Men, foolishly used his mental powers to cleanse the mind of the corrupt mutant Magneto. Onslaught, the synthesis of all the darkness within the souls of both men, lurked within Xavier for months, building his power and biding his time. That time had come. At last, an independent creature, he was finally free to act upon the anger that had nurtured him, free to destroy the world. Only one man stood in his way, Xavier himself. Very well, Onslaught. You have the upper hand. You have stripped me of my telepathic powers. You have turned everything I stand for against me. But you are not the unstoppable being you claim to be. You are not my equal. No. Look at me, Xavier. I am your darkest secrets, your most shameful hatreds. All that is within you is within me. Not all. There is something I do not see reflected in you. One shred of humanity. And that will be your downfall. I rather doubt that, Charles. And as the world will soon see, I have no use for humanity in any of its forms, especially not that mutant race you coddle and protect. Funny. We don't think much of you either, big man. You okay, Professor? Rogue, what are you doing here? Riding shotgun. Ready, Cyclops? And willing, X-Men. On my signal. Jean, you and Storm hit 'em high. Gambit and Bishop, hit 'em low. Cable and Wolverine, hit 'em hard. As of now, the Onslaught is finished. Hardly, Magneto. Or should I call you Joseph? No matter what name you carry, you and your magnetic powers are part of me as well. And with them, I can uproot the very earth beneath your feet. No one knows where the X-Men found the strength to fight on that day, unless it was from the inspiration of their professor and mentor. As he looked on from the sidelines, never was he more prouder of his students. He knew this was their finest hour, and quite possibly their last. Battered and broken from Onslaught's previous attacks, their spirits were strong, but their flesh weak, and with one blinding bolt, the children of the atom were split asunder. Silence filled the air. All was lost. And yet, through the haze of the dust, Xavier sensed the coming of hope, of courage, of marvels. Everybody breathing? Good. Backup's here. Captain America and friends, Blinky, the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and everyone else we could find. We're Earth's last line of defense, people. Win or lose, we go out together. Then together it shall be. Joseph! Joseph, wake up. You risked your life to save me. You are here because of me, Joseph. I could do no less. Because of the mind wipe, you do not clearly remember that Onslaught is as much a reflection of my ambition as he is yours, so I have been told. Nevertheless, Charles Xavier, though I no longer know you, I feel safe in assuming that I could not have a finer ally this day. Nor I. We will need the strength of friendship against the worst of both our worlds. I take no prisoners. Those I need, I already have. As well he did. Franklin Richards, heir to the Fantastic Four, born with the ability to warp reality. Uncle Ben, it's clobbering time, Uncle Ben. Don't let him hurt you. And Nate Gray, refugee from an alternate timeline, and as X-Man, the most powerful psionic being in any reality. No, it's all coming true, and I can't stop it. What's coming true, mister? What are you talking about? Onslaught. He used my memories as a plan for conquest. Franklin, try to understand. I come from a world overrun by a madman named Apocalypse. Onslaught admires that world. Now he's tapping our powers in order to make this one just like it, or worse, and there's nothing we can do. Nothing. That's not what Mr. Xavier said. He talked to me, told me to fight Onslaught, but I couldn't, not all alone. But now that you're here, maybe we can, together. Sorry we're late, but you left us a little flat-footed when you charged off on your own. We're shielded from Onslaught psionics by psi-scramblers. How about you? We're now few enough, unfortunately, where Jean and Cable can protect us, Iron Man. Besides, it doesn't look like we'll get close enough to Onslaught for it to matter. He's erected a force barrier around this citadel, and what the ground, it's quaking. The ground isn't the problem, Falcon. Look up. Good Lord, is that a second sun? My God, it's filling the sky. It'll melt the earth. We should live long enough, believe me. Its gravity will wipe the planet clean first. How can this be? It's inconceivable. Only to a scientist, Reed. You know the rules of our universe. Franklin isn't as hampered. Nothing's impossible to Onslaught. Not when he has the power of X-Man and the imagination of our sun at his command. Thor, Storm, Crystal, see what you can do to contain the upheaval and keep us alive. The rest of us have to get to Onslaught. Fast. Great. Now on top of everything else, I'm ashamed. The 5-year-old has it together tighter than I do. You're awfully brave. You know that? Runs in the family, does it? I just want to help my folks. I want to be with my mommy again. Then let's make that happen. I saw one world wiped out, kid. I won't watch it again. Did you have an idea? Well, Onslaught said he wants you and me because we can do anything, right? Pretty much so. So we can do anything. We can even get out of here if we try hard enough, right? Not exactly the super strategy I was hoping for, but maybe there's some truth to it. Keep a good thought, Franklin. And maybe we can, at that, with a little help. Contact. I found the kids, Charles. They're still in the Citadel. Cable, are you alright? Barely. The technovirus in my system. It takes all my concentration to keep it at bay. Worry about me later. I located Franklin and Nate with a telepathic probe, Charles. I can tether them psionically. Give them a path to follow out once Onslaught is destroyed. But only with your help, which will not amount to much again. Onslaught shut down my mental powers. Understood. But suppose I get inside Joseph's head and use his magnetism to nudge the electrochemical barriers in your brain. Risk level? Not small. It could backfire on all of us. But the lives of 2 innocents are on the line. In Joseph? How can I not be? No, I forbid this. I have no choice in the matter. Even though my past sins are apparently infinite in number, I'll pay back my debts, one life at a time if that's what it takes. Do what you must. A pity that I am so often forced to save you from yourselves. As ever, the genius of Victor Von Doom will be our only salvation. Onslaught uses much of his might to maintain his force field. In order to eradicate the field, we must distract him. And we trust you because I have no interest in betraying you simply to rule a planet of cinder and ash, child. Onslaught must be stopped. Our next move is yours and yours alone. Only you two together have the power to stun our foe. You don't say. How much does Doom know about us, Panther? You would be surprised, Gambit. I always am. New Yorkers are not given to panic. Much have they seen through the years. Foggy, what's happening? I don't know, Karen. And yet, as the very air became the color of fire, they wondered if this sunrise would be the last. Employees and tyrants alike. All the Bugle reporters are on the street, Jonah. We can get this into tomorrow's edition. Provided there is one, Robbie. Provided there is one. There was no time to deliberate. Doom's strategy was quickly adopted. At his insistence, the synthezoid vision, phased in material, merged with Rogue, augmenting her already titanic strength and dampening her absorption power, while Wolverine pierced Onslaught's field with berserker rage. And Giant Man and Namor held the rift open long enough to allow a moment's passage. They're in! Go! Go! Fools! You are no physical match for me. No, a blow like that should have staggered him. Unless... Wanda, I'm here. Don't try to talk. Your wounds. We have been through much, but nothing like this. Hold me together, Wanda. Hold me. Doom's plan worked. The force barrier is fading. Onslaught struggling to maintain control. This is our chance. Goddess, the noise of a beast bellowing with fury. Send me in, Coach. I can take him, Phoenix. But you have to help. You have to enter my brain telepathically and turn Banner off. Shut him down. Your human side? I can't. My control side. And you have to. It's the only way. Prepare yourself then. I'm reaching into your mind. Who's Betty? Leave me that, okay? Do it. I didn't say it wouldn't be painful, but we could do a lot worse than to make you angry. Banner? Banner? Are you there? Banner is puny. Hulk is the strongest there is. No! Hulk will stop Onslaught. No one beats Hulk. No one. It's working. The Hulk has him on the ropes. Let's go, Susan. I know, Reed. I've always known. I love you too. With all my heart. It's slobbering time. Wait up, fellas. I'd rather face a whole onslaught of onslaughts than watch these two birds play Paul and Jamie. That's our Ben Blessum, a comedian to the end. Don't believe it, sweetheart. Please, not you. I need to see our son again, to hold him. I need this world to go on. Don't worry, honey. I'm not giving up. But look around you, at the mask and the mutants who walked the trail we blazed. Why did that trail take us all here, to this moment? I don't understand. You're saying this battle is what all these years have been leading up to? For the first time in my life, I have absolutely no idea. And Susan, that scares me. Every blow unleashed by the Jade Giant unfettered more of Onslaught's might. Earth's heroes braved the psionic cyclone to reach their full, pooling their powers, putting aside old rivalries. Vision, my brother, hold to me, rekindling old feelings. Johnny, heads up, Chris. Man, mutant, or God, nothing would stand in their path. Forward, they strode, knowing with growing certainty that this was their last battle. Comforted only by the knowledge that there was no better way to go than beside old friends. The air rang with atomic thunder for miles in every direction. Windows shattered, ground trembled. There was fear in every heart. Save Onslaught's. You cannot win, you genetic freak. Judgment has already been passed. No one will survive the coming of Onslaught. No one is worthy. This is Trish Tibley reporting for Channel. Wow. Step aside, youngster. Neither sleet nor hail nor... Oh my. I despise humans for their prejudice and hypocrisy towards the Homo superior race. I loathe mutants for their cowardly attempts to be accepted rather than to rule. Tell me, have I forgotten anyone? Just Hulk makes him mad. The madder Hulk gets, the stronger Hulk gets, and Hulk is angry. What was that? What? I heard you. It sounded like a nuclear blast at ground zero. This way, Odin's blood. I see neither friend nor foe. Look beyond the settling dust, Thor. There's Hulk, and beneath him, Banner. But how? Don't know, mon ami. Maybe Hulk pounded the reality-changing powers out of Onslaught. Speaking of whom, what's happened? His armor, cracked and empty. Hulk beat him. We won! Hardly. Onslaught is no longer a physical creature who could be bludgeoned into submission. I am thought itself. I am perception. Perception is reality, and reality rejects you. Translation? We've been fools. He's been evolving all along, and this must be his final form. His armor was only a shell. Now he's pure psionic energy, free to spread worldwide, and we're left ourselves with no way to attack him, since we can no longer touch him. This a vessel to hold him we need? Then use mine, my flesh and blood. The sinew of thunder god shall surely contain such a wicked storm, and once it does, you must show me no mercy. Only by felling me can you fell Onslaught. For Midgard, for Odin, for Asgard, Thor. It's not working. Onslaught's tearing him apart from within. Even Thor can't carry him alone. Then one side, Stretcho. Miss Grimm always taught her boy Benji to lend a hand when there's a heavy lifting. You with me, Matchstick? Right behind you, good buddy. Flame on. Johnny, Ben, no. What are you miserable parasites doing? You're draining me. Then it's starting to work, but they'll need more mass to contain them. I should go, but what, Hank? It's just that I know we've had our differences, Jan, but every time I've gone off without you, it's been a mistake. Hank! I don't see anybody coming back. You realize that if we join with Onslaught, it may be the last thing we ever do. I realize that the world's at stake. Don't confuse me with details. Avengers assemble! Of all the transformations you've been through, Pym, this one looks permanent. Still, if you can help stop Onslaught, then maybe all of the changes, all of the loneliness, will have finally meant something. Hey, what's that about loneliness? Slow down, handsome. How's a pretty partner in Pearl ever supposed to keep pace with such a long-legged dreamboat? I love you, Jan. I always have, even through the bad times. Same here, High Pockets. Same here. Feel the wind. Onslaught's thrashing like a tornado. Thor's idea is working. We're weakening him. Iron Man, be ready to. Iron Man, what is it? Has anyone seen Doom? There they are. Nate, take my hand. Your hand? Goodbye, frying pan. Hello, fire. I'm supposed to trust you. Look around. This is you. You became everything people said you feared. A mutant out of control. I'm always on the run because of maniacs like you. Then don't trust me. Trust yourself. You think that if you stay here, you'll die, but the running finally stops? Don't give in to that, Nate. There is a world that will accept you. It's small, but it's there. I dreamt it and I built it. You have the strength and courage to find it. Take my hand. Wolverine, Quicksilver, wait! You can't go in there. What? Why not? I noticed earlier that Onslaught's essence expanded when Rogue touched him. That can only mean one thing. Since he began life as a mutant genetic pattern would give him the perfect means to live again. Scarlet Witch seemed to be protected by her hex, but the rest of you don't dare make contact. It's up to us. Very well, Richards. I regret that I cannot join our comrades in sacrifice, but I am relieved that my wife Crystal will be spared. Or Pietro, my darling, as always you do not listen. He said mutants cannot participate. He said nothing about Inhumans. Crystal! Our time went by too quickly, my husband. Please, remember me. It's over, bub. She's gone. I'm sorry. The air crackles with raw power. Would that Doom's armor could simply drink it all in. Still, my ingenious absorption model can certainly store enough of it to turn this day to my advantage. Who dares? Vic, I'm crushed. You get smacked with an arrow and you gotta ask who? Guess your fan club doesn't have a branch in Latveria, Hawkeye. That's one thing they'll have to take care of there. Right after they elect a new monarch. Release me. What is the meaning of this? It's something I don't expect you to understand. It's called sacrifice. And that's everyone but us. We were the first, and we'll be the last. Ready, Cyclops? You can count on us, Dr. Richards. I know, son. Just making sure, whatever happens, do not hold back. Once Sue and I are in, the X-Men have to hit Onslaught with everything they have in order to blast him out of existence. Otherwise, what we've done here today will be for nothing, understand? Of course. Good. Sue, on your count. 4, 2, go! They're in. X-Men, attack! And they did, their hearts heavy with sorrow and rage. While below, in the shadow of Armageddon, one last forgotten figure stood and joined the fray in the only manner he knew how, as the symphony of the power built to a mighty crescendo and ended with a roar loud enough to swallow the world. It's happening. Onslaught's vanishing. Nathan, Franklin, if we're going to be free, it has to be now. Push your power to its fullest, Frank. You have to reach out as hard as you can and help create an exit. Do you understand? I do, mister. I do. For that split second, the world held its breath. To defeat the greatest threat the world has known, the heroes were prepared to sacrifice themselves, their presence scorched from the very earth. But one small boy, with hope enough for the world entire, would not allow this. As humanity's brightest faded from existence, mother and son grasped for each other one last time. In that moment, time and space froze, reality warped, and perhaps hope was reborn. But as their salvation was secured from above, human witness gasped in horror at the hell below and passed a terrible and vicious judgment against those they would hold responsible for the tragedy of a world without heroes. I called him Professor Franklin. He's fine, but Nate, he's not moving. Nate. I'm present and accounted for. Just a little shell shock. Did we win? I think it would depend on who you ask. You were a brave boy today, Franklin. Your parents would have been very proud of you. Where are they? Mom and Dad and Uncle Ben and Uncle Johnny. Where did they go? To make the noblest sacrifice of all, Franklin. They gave of themselves so that the world might live. They'll be back, won't they? You'll see them again someday, I promise. In the meantime, so long as you hold them in your heart, they will always be with us. In the fading rays of sunlight, Nathan Gray lifted Xavier high over the city. Its long shadows did little to hide Xavier's grief. Thank you, Nathan. I thought it best to get a good look at the devastation Onslaught caused, so that we might know and remember precisely what we will be blamed for in the months and years to come. The bystanders saw us turn on our comrades. They don't know why. They will assume the worst. If Onslaught exacted any revenge, however accidental, it was that. They were incredible. Who? The heroes. They were giants, titans. They passed by me so briefly. I wish I had a chance to learn from them. They could have taught me so much. You had no one like them in the world you came from? Not at all. Maybe if we had, they might have made my home a better place. God knows they made a difference here. And that is my story. Touching. A tale of the fittest surviving. My favorite kind. You were correct, Watcher, when you toiled this hour as the end of your age of wonder. For there is another age dawning. An age of apocalypse. And mark my words, with the arena cleared of defenders and heroes, that age will soon be upon us. Perhaps. Or perhaps a different day is at hand, apocalypse. A day of new possibilities, of heroes rediscovered and heroes reborn. The champions of Earth are but mortal men. Their passing, however tragic, is inevitable. But their legacy will endure, so long as their memory is not forgotten. You know, the credits, alright? This comic book was near and dear to me when I was a child, and I remember buying this, alright? Onslaught, Marvel Universe, 1996. It's the year 2019. Published on October 1st. The writers were credited Scott Lobdell, Mark Waid. The pencilers was credited to Joe Bennett and Adam Kubert, and the cover artist was Adam Kubert. Okay, the reason I chose to read this particular issue and make a video of it, in all honesty, was that this comic book was written in 1996. I've covered the history of this Onslaught stuff in a previous video. And, you know, it was like a major cash grab. Marvel Comics was drowning at this time financially. This is around the time they were just like selling off all the character rights to the big studios. But anyway, and I just find it remarkable how the spirit of all of these different characters are not only in this comic book, but how they capture it in the films. So this was SonOfNunz here with another comic book video for you guys. Peace.